Today's episode is brought to you by Geododge. Geododge is an addicting phone game that can be found on the Apple App Store. Search Geododge to download the app and begin playing today. I am lucky enough to be here with two of Davison's most talented people. I didn't know that Davison had such a good talent pool. I thought Metamora had a good talent pool for all the people, basically Breeze football players and whatever I am. I'm here with Matt Smith Jr., local politician.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor here.
I appreciate that. Brandon, local artist.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
Right?
Orthodoxin is the name. Yeah.
Have you been on stage under that name, or did you change that before you
it's gone through a few things, a few nicknames here and there, but it's stuck with Orthodoxin. But yeah, thanks for having us on the show. It's gonna be fun.
Now, I didn't just grab both of you and use my Twitter power to get both of you to come on here. You guys actually know each other. So do you wanna talk about how you?
Yeah, freshman year of high school, wasn't it?
Yeah, so basically, Brandon Snyder, Matthew Smith, how this whole thing come about is we walked into Davison in 2012, or 2011, I think it was.
2011, yeah, freshman year.
And we, since we have S's, Smith, Snyder, we had the same homeroom. I think we had
Pittenger, yeah.
And, he knew everyone because he went through Davison throughout the whole process, the middle school and everything. I didn't. I come from a Catholic school, K through 8th, so I didn't know anyone at Davison. I knew one person at Davison. So I was looking to make friends, So I had walked into homeroom. I had met Brandon, very chill person. I think I forgot a pencil.
I think that seems pretty familiar.
You gave me a pencil because we got our agenda books.
We had to sign all those.
And we had to sign them, and we had to
papers.
sign new papers and new slips.
All that.
And everything. We had to watch the videos, and we come across the video as we were watching the different videos on Pittenger's screen, and it was DTV. We were like, well, that's something we might want to do. And Brandon kind of expressed some interest in it. And, of course, I expressed interest in it because I've been interested in broadcasting and journalism pretty much my whole life. Since I've been yay big, I've been carrying around screwdrivers as microphones.
We've both been terrible at school and always only liked stupid fun things like this. I mean, we were making machinimas.
We were making YouTube videos back in the day.
When we were 12 and 11.
Matt had his journalism. I had my YouTube videos. So it kind of clicked a little bit.
Yep, so we had watched DTV, and then you couldn't actually be in DTV until you were a sophomore. So
you got the jump on it, though.
I got the jump on it because I went after it quickly and earlier, and so we had joined DTV together, and we were excited because he was like the first person I met at Davison besides the one person I went to Holy Rosary with. I mean, you have a class of like 400 plus people, and I didn't know not one of them. Yeah. So I knew Brandon, I knew a couple other people after like the first week of school. And so the second year, we went through DTV together, and then we got put on an anchor team together. He was sports. I was one of the head anchors along with some other person.
I remember. I was there.
And so that's how we kind of started with this whole process, knowing each other, and then it kind of morphed into, basically you're in school. And then when you're out of school, you're still in school because DTV is like a full-time job.
Yeah, that was for sure.
And so, we got to bond a lot, and he got to kind of express his DJing aspirations for me.
It was a creative outlet for us. DTV really helps you express your creative.
I was actually thinking about that today when thinking of things to talk about. That I feel like because I went to a broadcasting school, and I wasn't impressed with like the programs at all. Basically, the programs are ran by grad students. That's just how it goes at four-year university liberal colleges. It's just how it is. So you're basically as good as your grad student. And if you get a bad bunch, not saying anything.
It's because it's funny. Sean doesn't. Yeah.
Did he say that?
No, he likes it. I'm not gonna say anything though.
Well, I'm talking about the extracurriculars. Like, I feel like DTV prepared people more than it did.
Yeah, DTV is basically you could probably skip college. Well, really good example of someone skipping school going straight into the field.
I'm going to talk about that. So basically, when it comes to DTV, not only is that the place where me and Brandon met, and he got to express, his
creative
ideas for what he wanted to do. I got to do what I wanted to do. But DTV is more than just a class. It kind of prepares you for life. And so, right after graduating, I set my reel, before I graduated, I set my news reel to all the major stations.
Mm-hmm.
And Channel 5 picked up on it. And they said, okay, we want you in the studio. We want to talk to you. We want to learn more about you. So then it kind of turned into more of I'm curious.
Now, were you pursuing a career like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you
do.
lucked out.
I still do.
You still do.
Yep, and I still do. I still have a career in broadcasting because I still have the job.
Are you still
Right.
just in case sick day, basically?
Yes. So basically, what it is I sent my reel to everyone before graduating, and they picked up on it. They called me into the station. They said, "Okay, we want to learn more about you." So then they came. I visited them, and then they came to DTV to watch me for a day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was nerve-wracking because
that's cool though. You think about it. We're kids. We're 17, 18-year-olds, and
at the time
children.
I was 17.
You got adults coming in to watch you do a professional job that someone does every single day, watching kids do it to move into the real world. That's cool.
So literally 3 months after walking across the stage, boom, scored a job. 4 months after that, I was on the airwaves. I mean, you're talking, it's safe to say, millions of people.
You were very fortunate.
You're talking from up north of Michigan down to Oakland County,
Lots.
the whole thumb, over to kind of the Grand Rapids area a little bit. You're talking a lot of people. So I went from, channel 191 or 99 or 19, we had 3 different channels for DTV throughout the whole process, to just the students and staff, to millions of people. But it wasn't like I graduated, went to college, and then got my degree, and then got the job. I got it even before that.
Yeah.
So now I'm in a position to where I'm out of high school. I was blessed to get the education I did from Davison, and we'll talk about why I'm doing the other thing here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But I was blessed with the education I received there, right after high school, getting that job. And so I was, a freshman in college at Mott, and I was balancing college and then the job I've always wanted. And I know education is very important to me. That's why you can't just say, okay, you got the job you want. Now, screw the degree. No, you still have to work towards your education, but at the same time, I had this awesome opportunity. I still have it. And we'll talk about why I'm not on air, because via contract, you can't run for public office and be on air.
Well, I would figure. But I have to interrupt you right there. First of all, don't say because it's funny. I need one of these Matthew Smith Jr. shirts. And another thing, for people that are voting for Matt Smith Jr., were you Republican in your last race? Did you have to pick?
Yeah. So basically, when you run for township clerk, you have to pick Republican or Democrat.
Uh-huh.
It's not nonpartisan like the mayor is. It should be nonpartisan because you're working for everybody. But when I had ran for township clerk, well, first I had filed for school board back in April. I was the very first person to file for Davison School Board because there's 2 positions open. The 2 people decided not to run.
Mm-hmm.
So there was 2 positions open. They were looking for people to run, but they didn't ask me to run. This is something I wanted to do because I was blessed with the education I received. I wanted to give back to my district. So I filed to run for school board in April. And then no one wanted to run for clerk against the sitting clerk. And I wasn't happy with what she was doing in the township. So I said, okay, I'm going to do it. So then I had filed to run for clerk, a township clerk for Davison. And then there was some mixed opinions on whether I could run for both clerk and school board. And some lawyers said you can't. Some lawyers said you can. The state couldn't give me the answer. The county couldn't give me the answer, so I had withdrew.
You had to talk to a lot of people.
Board. Yeah, I had to withdraw from school board.
It was a hard process, wasn't it?
Yes. Later to find out, I never needed to withdraw. I could have run for both. But by the time I figured that out, it was too late, and my name couldn't appear on the ballot.
How did it feel being so young and being so not controversial, but talked about?
Speaking about being young, doesn't it in Davison, the school board, the youngest person to run, wasn't it Michael Moore?
Correct.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Michael Moore.
I
Everybody
need to get him
Michael
on the
Moore
podcast after this.
Yeah,
I need any person
Davison
that's
native.
talented in Davison, please come on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I need people after this. I got you two, and I don't know anyone more famous.
When it comes to being the most talked, I don't know if I'm the most talked about. I mean, yeah, with the signs everywhere, with my advertisements on social media. I mean, it's important. The school board election is important, whether we like it or not. The president's race is important, yes, at the top of the ticket, but at the bottom of the ticket, the school board race is very important.
There wouldn't be an election for it if it wasn't important.
Exactly. It'd be just, the administrators would pick whoever.
Right.
But the school board race is extremely important.
Has the election altered or done anything for what you're trying to do? Has it played a part in anything?
Well, I think that it shows my commitment to my district. I think the people realize that, public service is not just running for office. Public service can be defined as going out with a camera and a microphone and getting answers for the people. For example, the Flint water crisis. People want to know what is in the water. And I was one of the first reporters to break that. And I answered, I asked questions to the mayor. What is in this water? Why can't you, do something for these people? And so public service is not just about running for office. You were out there
on Snapchat. I saw you on Snapchat.
Yes. I posted
on everything.
Because I wanted people to know what's going on.
You had an article, 2 days ago, that it was at 27,000 something views or shares. The one about the house fire, I believe.
Right. And that's an example of public service. There was a bomb threat at Meyer, and I just took a random video because, I'm running for office, but I'm still, technically reporting, getting word for the people, even though I'm not in a Channel 5 car. I was in my personal car.
Plus, you're being there for your community.
Oh, right. So I took a video, and it got 35,000 views of people in the Davison community. So that just gives you an idea of how people look up to me as a public servant via running for office or via asking questions that impact people's lives. And that's what I strive to do. I strive to be there asking questions, and when I'm not asking questions at this present moment, I'm campaigning to get elected so I can be on the school board, so I can get answers for the people so we can do a good job. And, I want to maintain the best education around because I received a great education from Davison. I want to make sure my brother gets that education, my cousins get that education. I mean, I have to be there for them and for everyone in the district. And also I want to explore an elective, that prepares in finance. I think Brandon can touch on this. We went through marketing together. We went through a lot of electives together.
Honestly, the school offers a lot of things that help you to be creative. Honestly,
I didn't know all these nice things were going to be said about Davison Community School.
Honestly, though, I mean, it kind of just happened, though, really. Whether it's from, the art credits to the, honestly, they have a good staff and everything. It's really a good place. I mean,
we have auto shop, we have DTV, we have marketing, we have everything.
I'll just let this Davison commercial continue.
Yeah, and
really though, it's true. I mean,
well, now you see why I'm running for school board.
Obviously you're a homer.
Yeah, and so one thing I noticed that Davison did not have or didn't prepare me as much as I wanted to is personal finance, taxes, loans. Because speaking of Channel 5, and when I got that job, I had to file taxes and do all the big kid stuff, and I wasn't really prepared for that. And now I am because I went through it.
Yeah.
But if we're going to prepare in auto mechanics, if we're going to prepare in DTV,
which are everyday jobs, come with everyday life things.
Exactly, basic life skills.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to bring as an elective that prepares students in that. And then also another reason that I'm running for school board, and I think it's important to note, is there's a slogan going around called Davison Made. I mean, you look at the candidates running, I'm the only definition of Davison Made. I mean, I went through the school system. I know what it's like. I know what the food tastes like. I know everything.
That's true. Yeah.
And so I want to take that kind of mindset as if I know what this district's about, and I want to use that. And so I say
I grow on it and build it. I know what you're trying to say.
And so I joke and I say from the classroom, elect Matthew Smith, to the classroom to the boardroom, because it's true. I mean, and that's how it should be. If we have someone like myself that's willing to graduate, be blessed with the education, that wants to give back and make sure everyone gets the education that person got, I think this community really needs to act on this and write my name and write in Matthew Smith and fill it in. And now you know why people have to write it in, because of that whole everyone telling me I had to get off the ballot when I really didn't need to. And that's why I'm a write-in.
Yeah, it's a perfect story.
But
one thing both of you have in common that I noticed is that you both have to brand yourself. Brandon, me and you you texted me one day. I remember you had an epiphany thing. You were like, I need to brand myself. Being a musician, being an artist. Here's the spiel that I give everyone, and every time I say something, no one ever responds to it. But it's a theory or a scientific method thing I have for. Basically, I feel like the modern American young person dream, the young way to manipulate capitalism is through Vine, through Twitter, through YouTube. You
Social
can just
media.
brand yourself. Literally, if you have a following, advertisers will give you money. It's so easy. Clicks is money, clicks, sells, and that's like the modern American dream.
It's true.
It's so easy to brand and make yourself. Why am I sitting here with you guys with a microphone, having a conversation?
You're trying to brand yourself.
I'm trying to brand myself.
You gotta have a brand too.
Make
just
money
like
because
we do.
advertisers pay stupid amounts of money. I went to broadcasting school and I took classes on why advertisers pay so much money, and I still don't get it. Like that's why you're trying to be a local artist. You could make money off of clicks if you did well enough on Twitter.
I guess you could say that branding is really probably one of the biggest things when it comes to anything. I'd say personally, whether you're Matt over here running for school board,
you're branding a person.
He's branding himself as Davison made. He's coming from Davison. That's exactly what he's going for. That's his message, basically. Sort of like how I'm an artist and I want to say my brand. I wouldn't really say I have a brand yet, though. I think that's something I should probably work on, though. It's something I need to work, I think.
I just want to point out real quickly that I'm branding Matthew Smith because that's what's going to get me elected.
Of course.
You're a politician. Is the name Matthew Smith, but my campaign is about the coaches, about the parents, about the students.
It's giving
about
back.
The public. And it's not Matthew Smith's on the signs. Matthew Smith is what you have to write in.
Correct.
But my campaign is about everyone, and it's like a big movement almost. You know what I mean?
Very, very swifty politician, so polished.
But it's true.
No, it is.
True.
Of course, it's going to be true.
You're hearing it straight from.
Well,
the man
it's
himself.
It's weird. It's weird having both of you on because you both have very noticeable crafts that most people can't do. And watching a politician speak, people notice more than ever this year with Trump and like his ways of speaking and his cadences and stuff like that. But like with Matt right there, I had a subject and Matt took it in, sliced it up, and so
That's the only thing DTV can do to you, though. Really,
yeah. You guys
really
are very
does.
sharp, though. You guys are very sharp in front of it. It's a very weird talent to have.
It is.
Being that sharp.
It's just more of a social skill that we kind of adapted and learned through you. Basically being
forced into it, being a child and having a camera jammed in your face.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
It's a lot of hard work to have thick skin, because you have to have thick skin in whatever you do.
You really do.
With Brandon, if he ever were to DJ and mess up, some people might complain.
Yeah.
So
the crowd instantly.
So you have to have thick skin. With me running for office, not everyone agrees with my platform. Not everyone agrees with my plans. They think we should do other things. But look, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
Now that politics are so personal more than ever, Republican and Democrat is more personal than ever, people are going to hate the other party. Look what people say. And I'm sure you've gotten terrible things that you would never expect another person to say to you before from an opposing party. That's how personal politics are, because
it's what social media does.
Well, not only that, but it's the choices that we have to make now. Like, we've gotten to a very finite group of choices that are very personal and very, very left or right.
Because I look at it as this: I'm playing by the rules. I'm filing my financials correctly. I'm doing everything by the book. I just simply want to give back to my community, because you don't run for school board to make money. You make like $1,000 a year, but if I win, that money's going to go towards New Jerseys or something. I'm not going to keep it.
Right.
Beautiful.
That's
beautiful.
Good. That is good.
And so, you don't do it for the money. You don't, and people think, it might be for the publicity. Well, you have to campaign to win.
No, it costs too much money for publicity.
You have to campaign to win. How do people expect me to win a write-in with a community of 30,000 people if I don't brand myself? You have to. Because if you don't get the message up, if you don't constantly post on Twitter and Facebook and do literature drops, you don't get the message up.
Constant.
You have
Literally
to.
constantly.
You have to. And that's why I like this opportunity, because I get to tell you my plan for the district, and what an honor to do it with Brandon, because we lived.
I don't want to say grew up together, but I mean, to St. Davison, we went there.
Let's put it this way: we were with each other before we started doing bigger things,
Right?
And that's an important thing to note, because it makes for a great story. But now we need to make it reality, and that's what we're both working strongly to do, is to get somewhere. I'm not saying getting on school board is going to get all my wildest dreams come true, but it's a start. It's a start for me to give back.
Everybody
to the
has
people.
to have a start somewhere.
It's a start for me to give back to the people and do what I love at the same time. So.
Well, I'm jealous of you guys. I like you guys are moving very fast, but you know how good you guys are, and you act like it.
You have to have confidence. Confidence is key. You have to.
I'm displaying both of your guys' talents as my talent. Does that count?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. You're bringing out our inner talents for your talent. That's how you could say it.
So back when I first tried doing this and we tried having a conversation, it completely bombed and we had to work out all the cobwebs before I tried it now, which it goes swimmingly now. It's not even
This is good.
It's not a thing anymore. But I want you to talk about your Montana show, and I want you to tell it with color.
We'll take a step into a different direction for a second.
Yeah, well, no, because it's a great story, and it's such an peculiar,
it really
abstract.
is.
So go ahead. The floor is yours.
We'll start here. So, I DJ in downtown Flint. It's not too far from Davison, actually.
Plug it.
Downtown Flint. It's the Flint Local 432.
They're nonprofit, of course. Plug them.
It's a great venue. It really is. They do good things for local artists in Flint. A lot of people from Davison actually go there, so it's really neat thing to see. You know. Anyways,
a lot of Davison people.
Yeah, there was
all Davison people.
Every sort of concert you could think
My
of.
stepsister sang there.
She did. Yeah. It really is cool. It's a good place. Anyways, so I was down there DJing at the Flint Local. A couple of my I made friends down there actually. A couple buddies. They were rapping down there at the Flint Local, and I was DJing for them. And I'm more of into like different kind of music, but I'll do like the kind of music they like, hip hop, rap stuff. They asked me to come with them to the Crowfoot. It's a little venue in Pontiac, and I say little, but some big artists actually go there.
That's what I'm saying. It's pristine. Like a lot of There's Montana, obviously.
Montana's 300. He's a pretty big name rapper, you could say. I mean, a lot of people might not know him too well. But
No. He has millions of views on YouTube.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that.
If my keyboard wasn't so loud whenever I tried doing one of these, I'd look it up.
We can't pull that up though.
No, I would look up the fact, but like the keys are very loud.
You want to know what his following is?
It's a couple million. I know it is.
Quite a lot. Anyways, so I go to Pontiac. I go to DJ with my friends.
How did you get it? Like, how did you get this opportunity? How did it come in so easy?
They just asked me to open for them. They open for quite a few big names, and they want me to DJ for them. So that's really nice of them to do. It helps me grow as an artist.
But you've only DJ'd 5 or 6 times, right?
I mean, not too. I DJ'd a few local parties, like you could say, just like birthday parties,
Facebook marketing,
stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, just for friends, helping them out, playing music for them. And then this opportunity came to me. They opened for quite a few big names, some rappers and stuff. So they asked me to come with them to Pontiac and DJ for them and open for Montana 300, this really decent rapper who...
Really decent.
He's a decent following. He's a big following. I'm not going to lie.
Decent, yeah.
Anyway, so I get down there. This is probably back in March. I'm pretty sure it was March. Yeah, it was. I get down there. It was pretty empty when I first got there. I was really nervous, to be honest with you. I was thinking, great, I'm gonna come to this show that's supposed to be some quote unquote big show.
Now, I met the guy you're talking about. I can't remember his name, but he was there that night when me and you went to
Brody,
the Brody,
I think my friend.
I plug him.
Yeah, Brody. He's a cool dude. Anyways,
was he there and did he help you along the way while you were there? Was he in his own zone and getting ready?
He was they were with me getting the set list ready for their own personal
because I'm
show.
picturing that they had to do their own thing.
Yeah, they kind of do their own thing. I hung out in the back. I get up on stage. I'm gonna start playing music. Yada yada. It's a decent sized venue. There was probably, it's gonna sound pretty small, but there was probably like maybe 30 or 40 people there at first, and I was really thinking, great, this is gonna be some small little dinky show. Like, what have I got myself into? So night goes on. I stay up on stage because they didn't have anyone else to play music. So I just stayed up on stage, played music. Everyone was handing me their flash drives, want me to DJ for them, all the openers and stuff. And then finally, it's towards the end of the night when Montana's supposed to be on. All of a sudden, people start pouring in. Honestly, the venue got filled. I was surprised. I wasn't even expecting it to get filled. I was not in the slightest bit. So it fills up. The venue capacity is probably, it's hard to tell, but somewhere 250, 200 people, maybe.
I thought it'd be bigger.
It's not huge. I mean, we're in like I don't know how to explain the room we're in. It's a decent size.
Yeah.
But anyways, So the room is filled. It's loud and noisy in there. It's honestly getting
Probably hot.
Yeah, it was
Probably
getting
hot
hot.
as hell.
It was happening in there. Anyways, so Montana comes in. No, I'm jumping too far ahead of myself. This is where the story is actually good. So this guy comes up on stage and starts handing me a flat. What did he hand me? It was something that was meant for a Mac, and he goes, "Hey, plug this into your Mac and get the set list ready." And I go, "Wait, whose is this?" And he goes, "It's Montana's." And I like, "Wait, who? Wait, are you serious?"
So they
right
must
now?
not have booked a DJ.
No, they didn't bring a DJ with them, so they had me do it.
That's funny.
And I don't have a Mac. I forgot to say that. That's probably the most important part. I don't have a Mac. I have just a regular like Windows laptop. So anyways,
Didn't you go on and download all of his songs?
well, what happened was they go, "Wait, you don't have a Mac? I thought you had a Mac." And I go, "No." And they go, "Great. Well, we will be right back. We'll have to email you the songs." So they email me the set list, the songs. I download them. I download all his songs, and I get them set up. All of a sudden, like 5 minutes later, he goes, "You ready?" And I go, "Yeah." And all of a sudden, he goes, "All right, start playing the music." So I start playing it, and Montana's not even in there, and everyone's like getting hyped because his music's coming on. It was probably one of the coolest experiences I've had.
Yeah, Montana's huge. Especially that's the biggest venue you've ever done.
Yeah,
and
that's the biggest show
biggest
I've
artist
done.
too.
So all of a sudden, he comes in with security. He comes in through the crowd, and he jumps up on stage and just starts going in, and he shakes my hand, and he starts rapping. And he has this crew up there. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but he's got a pretty decent sized crew that comes up with him and raps with him. And I was just DJing for him, and it was honestly it was probably one of my most favorite DJ experiences.
Probably an experience of your life. That had to be so weird. Cool. I've never met anybody famous.
It was cool. It was really neat. And
you DJ'd for him.
Yeah. A little anecdote for it. So his biggest song is on YouTube. It's like the Chirac remix.
Yeah, the Chirac.
Yeah, his remix of that. And all of a sudden I click play. He goes, "All right, get the next song ready." Like the set list, I'm loading it. And the song would not load. So I was like, "Oh my god, the song's about to come up, and this dude's about ready." Like a room full of people
everyone's
waiting
ready.
for me. And I had to go use my phone's internet. I had to set up the hotspot on my phone, use that to get on Wi-Fi on my laptop, and go find the YouTube video of the song and download it. And I downloaded it at like the last minute to play.
This is the part where all the people waiting for Matt Smith to slip up are so bored.
They're like, "Wait, who's this kid
They've already
about?"
tuned out. They're like, "Who is this clown?" Because basically anybody that you try explaining to, any adult over 40 that you try explaining you're a DJ to now, they think of like celebrate, like doing like wedding anniversaries.
Yeah, I know. It's,
like they don't know what a sound
honestly, me wanting to make music stemmed from like being in school and listening to like that kind of music and stuff, and DTV helped me like get a lot of DJ opportunities in high school too.
Davison.
No, DTV, honestly, that I can't give enough like praise to it. Honestly, it helped me really get out of my shell.
Has it kept up? Is it the same people running it?
It changes every year. I mean,
it's got to be like theater. It brings its own flavor. I wish I did more theater stuff at school. I kind of regret it.
But anyways, yeah, I've just been doing the DJ stuff here and there and making music. And my music I can't say is all that great, but it's literally a work in progress.
Now that I got you held hostage by a microphone, why didn't you make an EP?
I don't know.
I don't know. You've been calling yourself a DJ for 3 years now, and there's no EP.
It's a work in progress. I really could right now. The other day, I actually did have the
songs that you've showed me, and I'm probably gonna have to mooch off of some of your content for an intro or an outro for this.
We will.
2 of the things you showed me a couple days ago, they're amazing.
They're works in progress. I mean, I can't sit here.
But you hit and miss hard.
It is hit and miss. That's what music is, though. That's what anything is.
Well, we have to be garbage because I bet when I keep doing this and I look back on this, I'm gonna say I could have done so much better with this, especially
learn from your mistakes, though.
Wanting to do better because I have this is such a good podcast. Like this is such a good.
It's a good duo. Lineup. We got it's a trio. It's a good trio, really.
And one thing I want to point out quickly, Brandon and I are just 2 examples of the potential that's out there in Davison.
That is really good point.
And I know that firsthand because on the campaign trail, I read to our youngest Cardinals at Teddy Thompson.
I saw the pictures.
Yes. And at the end of reading to them, I went around the room and I said, you guys, tell me what you want to do when you get older. And one kid said he wanted to be an astronaut and he wanted to land on the moon. Another said they wanted to be a nurse and take care of people. Another one wanted to be a firefighter and rescue people. And I told them, you stick to what you want to do and you will do it.
That's
if
true.
You believe, you will achieve. And I use myself as an example, but here shortly, we're not going to be doing that because there's going to be other success stories out of Davison. I'm not saying I'm a success story, but we're working on it, and that's what we're doing.
We have dreams. We both have dreams to do bigger things, and we're from just this small little town. Right. We have such big aspirations.
I spent 6 years in Davison, 6 years in Lapeer, but both of these, we're all so blue collar, so Midwest. We're so
it's just
there's not a whole lot going on around us. Like I was making fun of the other day. I don't know where I was. Literally, you get out, you walk out of a restaurant, and it's just a road, and it's just Applebee's, Taco Bell.
Now you get out of a restaurant, it's a field with 30 Smith signs.
Yeah.
If you're in Davison, it's going to be.
Well, no, actually,
I saw a sign in Flint. I was pulling off on Saginaw Street.
Yeah, my district's big. It's not just Davison. It's Elba. It's Oregon Township.
I was on Saginaw Street, and I saw a sign down there.
I didn't see the bill. You told me to see the billboard. You know what? I need to get free clothes for giving you this platform. I mean, we're all equally helping each other out, but I need something like that jacket. Because have you
been to Hilton Screeners to do any T-shirts at all?
This, actually, the one I'm wearing.
Plug Hilton, baby. Plug Hilton Screeners.
You have to give Davison
Hilton Screeners
when you're running for school board.
Sponsor my podcast, please, Hilton Screeners. Please.
We could probably set something up.
Oh my God, I didn't say my sponsor. I finally got a sponsor, and I literally totally didn't.
We can always edit it in.
No, I don't want to edit it. I want to plug it in right now.
Go ahead.
This podcast right now, my very first sponsor ever, didn't even have to pay a dime for it. Thank you. It's all in the family. It's all to my brothers. Sponsored by Geododge. Geododge is available on the Mac. I think it's only on the iOS App Store. How
do you spell that? Geododge?
Sound it out, folks. Geododge, one word, made by a very brilliant friend of mine who was kind enough to give me the sponsor for free. And it's just one of those addicting style app games. But I got Matt Smith Jr., I got Orthodoxin, and I got my first ever sponsor. So it was literally, I was riding this luck streak, and it's been going so well. I love this.
We've got good stories from both of us. We really do. I think it's cool
because
to have both of us.
You're interesting people. That's why I had you on.
And it's always good to have a mediator between the two that can bring out good conversation. I get. Hey, I'm just trying to help the podcast out.
That's mean, but I need clothes with Matt's name on it. That's
all he wants.
You're not the first person. There's a lot of people that want that.
I would imagine.
And right now, because of the message, because they stand behind me, the whole Davison Made thing, because I represent everybody, and I will. And This is a message to the people that don't really agree with what I'm doing, or they don't know me, but they just want to get favorites on a post or whatever.
Yeah.
Get to know me, and I promise you will like me. And you will like what I stand for, and you will like what I'm going to do, because this is a type of situation to where if you really do your homework, there's nothing to disagree about what I want to do. I mean, what's there to argue about of always looking for room of improvement? There's always room for improvement in a school district. Yes, we have one of the best districts around, in my opinion, but we can always look to make it better. And not only that, but there's 2 people giving up their seats this year. After serving 15 plus years.
Right.
They need to pass the torch to someone good and someone that can do the job. And there's others that can do the job, but I believe in my heart that I'm the one that's most prepared to do it. And I think that if this community stands with me and they write in my name, then we can do something special. And that's exactly what I want to do. But the billboards, when we leave here, I'll take it past 4 or 5.
Okay, you can show them to me.
Yeah.
But I have a really weird question for you. Really weird political curveball question. So I see Davison and Lapeer, the mid-Michigan. Before I rebranded it, said it was like a mid-Michigan podcast. Like I like the idea of it being like a subgenre,
Kinda
just
like a
really
hometown sort of
just
feel
really
to it.
dirty, just one mic, just two screens and with undisclosed locations and just talking, just doing an interview. But I always see Davison Lapeer as such a blue collar place, and I think we've always been more blue. We have to have been maybe a little red. But anyways, with you branding yourself and putting yourself in the public light, how blue collar, how Midwestern do you put into your branding, or do you actually feel that way? Like, do you feel like that with Davison, like being that Midwestern working class? Like, do you feel that way with basically getting so lucky with ABC 12 and just going
Channel
right
5,
into
Channel
it?
5.
I mean, you did work very hard at DTV, but like, how much of that goes into your branding? Because you went Republican, and a lot of working class people are Republican.
Well, what I like about the school board position is it's nonpartisan. So you're fighting for the Jill Stein Green Party, you're fighting for the Johnson Libertarian Party, you're fighting for the Democrats, you're fighting for the Republicans. It's everything, and I'm not
crafty.
I'm not focused on a D or an R or a G. I'm focused on an N, nonpartisan. I'm focused on the kids. I'm focused on my brother, my 8 cousins. That's what I'm focused on. The school district. Yes, I ran for township clerk, and you had to pick a party. You have to. It should be nonpartisan because it's at a township level, like something like state rep or something like that, where the numbers count of how many Democrats or Republicans are. That's when it should matter. But when you're talking local, you have to work with everybody, and that's what I'm going to strive to do. And quite frankly, we see that right now. I have endorsements from both sides. I have endorsements from the most liberal people in Genesee County, and I have the endorsements from the most conservative people in Genesee County, because they know that, yes, I have a party and I'm going to be voting a certain party like everyone else.
Right.
But when it comes to nonpartisan and school board and doing the right thing, they know that I won't mess around and I will do the right thing.
So with being on the school board, what direction do you think it should go, more liberal or conservative? I
don't think the school board should go more liberal or conservative at all. I think we should just do what's right for the district. I don't think there should be political parties involved, hence the fact why it's nonpartisan. I think that the people will make their determination, but when it comes to kids, you shouldn't let a party divide you.
Well, let me rephrase. I mean, do you think the direction that if you were to win, should there be more change, or should it stay how it is?
Well, like I said, I want to implement some things. So implementing is change, yes. But I don't like to call it change. I like to call it improvement, because that's what it is. You're improving. You're taking something that's working, but you're modifying it to make it better. Or else you're implementing something to the district. So it's not like I'm going to take a marketing class and change it. I'm actually proposing the board to bring something new. So it's basically taking an awesome district and then adding things to it that I felt were missing when I attended the district firsthand, because there's no one else running for school board that knows what the district is like firsthand, and I do. So I know what we need, what we do not need. I know the inside of the district, and now graduate, I know the outside of the district. So it's not like I want to go in there and change everything. That's not the case. Some people view it as I want to go in there and change everything and make it all a certain way. No. I see Davison with a lot of potential. I see Davison as one of the best school districts. We need to keep it that way, but at the same time, we need to be looking for ways to improve, keep a balanced budget, make sure we're not spending too much money, keep a balanced budget, but at the same time, implement things that are going to make it to where it's even better than when it was when I graduated.
And then who better to improve than someone that's basically the same age as the people that are already going there. You're fresh out of the system, basically.
And that's why I think my age is an asset. My age is not a liability.
It really is.
My age is an asset. And so when I had first come out that I was running, I mean, I've been on the cover of the paper a lot. I've been getting a lot of attention.
Your face has been around, which made you very, very tasty subject for my first episode of the podcast. Very, very, lot of viewership.
I hope so.
You're hoping so.
Well, yeah, because there's 2 examples of undiscovered potential that has yet to be found. I want people to realize that Davison is a small town.
And do I fall somewhere in the middle?
Yes, you do. But you should have went to Davison.
I should have stayed.
You should have stayed.
You'd have been the whole 12 years.
We wouldn't even be in here.
I kind of regret it because I feel like I wanted to do Davison TV, and I didn't stay long enough to get to play the game. So this is what you get: my Mac and a plug-in laptop, a plug-in microphone.
But like I said, Zach, you believe, you achieve. If you go out there, believe what you want to do. You set goals because you got to have goals. Whether what people
listen up,
listen.
This is serious here.
It really is.
Whether what people say to you, no matter what you do in life, okay, and this is not quoting anyone, this is just from experience, because I've had experience a lot. I've had a lot of incoming, meaning heat from people. I've had so much more positive than negative, though. That's something to point out. But no matter what you do in life, you're always going to have critics. You're always going to have people, telling you should have done it a different way. But you do what you believe. So you go out there, Zach, you believe what you want to do, and you achieve it.
You know what I say? I say you turn the critics into crickets.
He's got an element joke into
Brand it. Hashtag it. Throw it on a crew neck.
Well, in my case, critics, they just need to talk to me and get to know me more. And I think that we'll be just fine because that's what's happening.
That's what every politician
I think
says.
critics.
That's what all of them say.
I think my critics should listen to my music because it's probably some of the best music I've ever made.
So you're saying your critics haven't listened?
Yeah.
What if they listen and they still don't like it?
They should get better ears. I think.
Better ears.
Or in my case, if you don't like one of my positions, or
you need a better brain.
Well, no. No. It's called Tim Hortons. It's called, you meet at Tim Hortons for coffee.
I love it.
And you talk to them one-on-one like we're doing here now. And you talk with them, you feel them out. And that's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to make myself available. Yes, I'm going to be busy with college. Yes, I'm going to be busy reporting news to the people.
He's available right now. Look at this.
Yes, I'm going to be busy reporting news to the people in college and everything. But if I get on that school board, I'm going to be available for teachers and students. My Facebook will be available if they have a question on something. If they have a problem with the teacher, I hope not. But if they do, I'm going to be available. And my meetup spot is Tim Hortons. I mean, I have a bunch of signs there right now. I always go in there. I talk to residents in there. I do what's called mini town halls. It's where I go in there and I say, okay, Dorothy, what's on your mind?
I like that.
What do you think we can improve in the
That's
district?
really the communication is the key.
You have to, and that's what I'll bring to the board. So when I say I'm going to bring communication to the board.
Well, meeting face to face, making the opportunity.
You have to. Because it's the people that's in charge of the school board. That's what's important to know here. The people elect the school board.
And with Davison being, not such a small town, but word spreads like wildfire. And one little good thing that also can bite you in the butt.
Well,
one bad
told
thing can also spread.
I told a lot of Lapeer people about this and how big of a deal this was, and they were like, "Oh, I know Matt just from seeing him on
social media,
on TV and on social media, like TV, ABC 12, yeah."
Channel 5.
Oh, is that what it was?
It's the second time you've done it now.
But
really?
But it's funny because when I was a little kid, probably 4 or 5, and I'll get you the video, and it's going to come out one day, but it's a video of me like 5 or 6 years old, and I was doing a Channel 12 report, and then I went with the 2 head anchors from Channel 12, and they let me sit at the desk when they were on commercial break and anchor with them, and it's the cutest thing because you see me as a little squeaker saying, breaking news, the city of Flint gets a bond for da-da-da-da-da and road improvement and gas prices. And then you see me now, and that goes back to my whole thing. If you put your mind to what you want to do, you can do it. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not a perfect person. I'm not saying my life is over. Hell, I got how many more years to live?
I hope we're not.
He's just
perfect.
Beginning, folks.
Well, I'm just beginning, but you have one life to live, and I'm a man of faith. I believe in God. I go to church. That's what I do, and I believe you have one life to live, and you better inspire people, and you better make a difference in the world. Make your mark on the world. I gave a speech a couple weeks back in front of like probably 300 people. And I told them, I said, this is a message to my generation. Make sure you make a mark on the world in a good way. Because, you want to make it better for people that come after you. For example, if I have kids, I'm probably going to name them Matthew Smith III, by the way. But if I have kids, I want them to have a better life on this earth than I did. So you got to make your mark, whether it be changing policy in a school board, implementing something that will help students, or going out and asking questions that impact people's daily lives on how they live their lives. Those are the things that I strive to do, and that's what I want to do for this community is I want to be that voice. I want to be the voice for the community. I wasn't asked to run for school board.
Mm-hmm.
I did it myself. I went down to the county clerk and I filed myself. Now for the others, I can't say the same. But I was not asked to run for school board. This is something that came to me. I'm a man of faith, and I believe that this is my time. And if it's not my time, I will accept that.
Hey, like you said, you're still young.
Well, this is a write-in campaign, so it's going to be difficult, and that's why I'm educating the people. And I'm not on the ballot like the other people. So this is a write-in, so it's a little bit different. But if this is not my time, like it wasn't my time to be clerk this year, and I accepted that because that's what God wanted. If it's not my time, it's okay. I go back to being on air on television, and I get my degree. And who's to say when in 2 years when there's 2 other school board seats open, I'll run for that again, and I'll be really polished. I won't change because I am who I am, but I'll be more polished and more prepared. I'm not saying I'm not prepared now because I am prepared. I'm ready to take the oath of office tomorrow. But I just think that if people in this community stand together, whether it be supporting a local DJ or supporting a Davison graduate that wants to make a difference, I think if we come together more as a community and we bond more, I think that's what's missing in this earth. We're too divided. And I think we need to come together and appreciate towns like Davison, where it's local and everyone can bond. Because look at the city of Flint and the problems they're having.
Mm-hmm.
We're so lucky to live in a place like Davison Township and the Davison community and Lapeer, Metamora.
Anyway, honestly,
shout out Metamora, man. Metamora produces. There's a kid in the NHL right now from Metamora. Metamora produces talent. It's because we have the best summers ever. I think that's why. Such a weird thing to say, but it's the best free thinking, happy times.
It's the best kind of. It's like a Kid Rock feel to
it.
it.
It's got a Kid Rock feel to it. It's got the blue collar back to that. I just feel dirty. I feel like a dirty hick in Lapeer, and I love it. I love it. Okay, so when did your billboard go up? The one with you and your sisters.
Yep.
First of all, congratulations. Did I say that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Twins, correct?
Yeah, twins.
Not yours.
But it's funny because I'm a member of the Flint Area Right to Life. Okay, it's an organization that helps women who are pregnant and stuff. It's a nonprofit organization.
It's a pro-life billboard, correct?
Correct.
So when did that go up?
So they went up about, I believe, a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And so they requested to use my image, and I said, well, yes, because it's election time and everything else.
So whose board is that?
Flint Area Right to Life. It's their board. It's not my board.
Okay.
It's my picture with my sisters.
So is that like an endorsement?
No, it's not an endorsement. Because I'm a member, so yes, I'm running. I just happen to be running for office at the same time.
It was just a coincidence.
It's a coincidence, yes. They want to get a message out there for people, to visit their website and stuff. Kind of branding. Speaking of branding, they want to brand themselves, and they saw a local member who had 2 twin sisters, and they're like, "Oh, there's 2 more reasons to support our movement." So I said, well, if this supports your movement, and I help other people brand as I'm helping you brand right now. I want to help them brand,
Absolutely.
but it just happens to be via billboard. And I totally support that. You know what I mean? I support their cause. I want to give back to the community in any way possible. I just happen to get lucky and happen to be on a billboard.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, you're
16 billboards.
See, you're in the public eye so much more than you're practically a child star, like a Davison's version if they had a child star. Didn't you always say that a couple years before you there was somebody that went to Channel 5 or ABC 12 from Davison? DTV.
There's been quite a few people. There's been a lot of
But
people.
they went to college first, and then there was 2 years after college, and then they got it.
What Davison TV wasn't around when Michael Moore was around, I'm guessing.
I don't think so.
No, it started in the early 2000s.
How do you think that would have went if Michael Moore was around and Davison TV was around?
I don't know. That would have been a weird experience for sure. I don't know how that would have went.
Mm-hmm.
He probably could have trailblazed it for Matt, and Matt would be a lot more radical.
That'd be cool. That actually is a good thought. I don't know. It
would have been really cool if we were in the class together. That would have been an exciting. And on the same anchor team. What about Michael Moore and me on the desk? Brandon on sports.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a team right there. That's ratings right there.
It's ratings, but it's also different mixed people, and that's what I like about things is when you bring people from different aspects of life together, because then it gives people a refreshing viewpoint.
So what Davison qualities do you see in Brandon, and what Davison qualities do you see in
I'm very artistic.
Artistic,
so is
creative,
Davison autistic?
Artistic.
Did I say autistic?
That's what it sounded like.
I said artistic.
Some people might view that. Maybe like Graham Blank views it that way.
Yeah, they got other schools not liking us.
And that's another thing, is I got a competitive spirit. Yes, I'm competitive in my campaign. I want to strive to win, to do good, but I'm very competitive for Davison. I want Davison to be the best. And I won't stop until we're the best, whether it be sports or ACT scores.
Speaking of your guys' sports, you guys have a good football team again.
Yeah,
I like that.
We're undefeated this year, about to be state
couple
champs.
of new guys, right?
Got some scouts watching us from Big Ten schools.
I heard
Division
one of them
schools.
was for Ohio State. That's amazing. Lapierre's good again too. I love it.
It's both of us.
They're so big. We breed people so big. John is so big.
Two words. Davison made.
Davison made.
Mm-hmm. That really started though. Really after we left.
I thought that was a wrestling.
I mean, it was kind of like the year. That was our senior year.
Senior year, but then it really started to get like on T-shirts and stuff after we left.
Yeah.
And then they kind of coined the term for if you went through the school system and then you do what you want after school, they call you Davison made.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty cool because it's inspiring people to get out there and do what they want, whether it be sports or, like I said, astronaut, nurse, or whatever the hell you want to do. So that's always a good thing is to make our students strive for the best, and that's what I'll do on school board. You know what I mean? So
this Davison commercial.
It's a Davison commercial because
that's what Matt is doing.
Absolutely, I did. No,
but even if
kidding.
I wasn't running for school board, I'd still be talking this highly of Davison.
Oh yeah,
because I wouldn't be. So let's just pretend school board's out of the picture and politics is out of the picture. I still wouldn't get where I was today, like Channel 5, if it wasn't for Davison.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what aspect of my life you look at, Davison has got me to where I am. You know what I mean? And a lot of hard work. I mean, you know how much.
You're a homer, absolutely.
How much hard work.
It's like me with the Wolverines. Which none of us, I haven't gotten to watch any college football at all.
We're too busy being adults to do anything.
Matt has a job.
J-O-B. In fact, here's something to think about. If I get on the school board, I'll be on the school board until 2024.
Okay.
Moly.
That means I have to be glued to Davison for that long. And that's a big commitment. Because let's just say I signed a 2-year contract with Channel 5.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I could go to somewhere bigger like in Dallas, Texas, and work at another station. But not only am I running for school board, but I'm signing a 6-year commitment to my district. That's how much I love Davison. And people don't think about it that way.
Are you going to show up at the football games in your suits?
Maybe not suits. Maybe my alumni hoodie.
Looking like money on the sideline.
Steve Furr, who is the supervisor of Genesee Township, he said that kid was born in a suit in town. And that's just that's just what I do. Is like right now you're looking at my campaign attire, but I'm always professional. I have probably over 125 ties.
I was gonna say they look very expensive. The suits look expensive, but you probably.
But they're worth it though, because when you're running for an office, you want to represent people. You're representing people. Like for example, I was at a board meeting for another school district, and yes, they view me as Matthew Smith, but they also view me as that person from Davison.
Right.
And so I want the story to go back as that person from Davison was top notch.
You don't want to look like me and Zach. You don't want to look like a bunch of hoodlum teenagers.
Just getting off your shift.
Just getting off my shift. I planned on in my head I visioned this as me coming through the door and then you walking in the suit and the tie. Hey, how you doing? With a handshake, but I introduced you with a hug, and you were wearing clothes with your name on it that I want.
It's let's be politically correct here. It's a fleece maroon with Matthew Smith on it.
You hear, Zach?
Am I here? I wore I'm very flamboyant.
You're not matching. You got colorful.
Well,
socks,
I thought this is a big deal for me. I actually thought before I came here this is a big deal for me. I should at least wear khakis or some nice pants or something. And then I went, no. But I like the new Michigan gear. I had to wear this hat. I haven't worn this hat to anything. And when we take a picture after this, I'm wearing this hat. The new Jumpman gear for the Wolverines. It looks amazing. Shout out the Wolverines this year, honestly.
Michigan football.
Michigan State football, Brandon.
Maybe they can sponsor the next podcast.
I need more sponsors.
Here's Zach.
Every nice person we've talked about that owns a small business, Please. Please, all of you.
I'll sponsor you.
How do
with my
you,
music.
so, explain to me, how you fund all these campaigns.
Campaigns are expensive because,
Absolutely.
like I said, you have to get your message out via branding, via yard signs, via literature, and it's not
On
just
foot. You're always on foot.
right. And it's not just literature, but it's postage. I mean, you're talking 47 cents for one card when you got a district of 20,000 voters. So I mean, it's quite expensive. But what happens is you take your message and you take it to people of the community, like maybe business owners, and you say, hey, look, I want to do good for this district. You're a nice, loyal business of our district. Would you mind sponsoring my campaign? And a lot of people did. Like the clerk's race cost me nearly $10,000. Not me, but fundraising money. And it's all you have to. And that's what people don't understand is they think I'm just some people think I'm just some kid running for office, but there's a lot more work involved. You have to file stuff with the state. You have to basically you're signing your life away. You have to put a lot of personal information.
Yeah, you're signing a lot of your privacy away. Absolutely.
Exactly. You have to put your address public. You have to put your phone number public. You have to put all your information, your everything public.
Yeah, that's a step I don't think I would be willing to take to do that. That's too much.
So, running for office, not only is that public, but what you spend your money on is public too.
Absolutely.
And so everything's legit. I mean, I wanted to be clerk, and you had to be like a really good accountant and stuff, and that's what I'm really good at, checks and balance.
You pushed voter fraud a lot, I remember, on Twitter, when you were running previously.
One tweet, yeah. I put one tweet.
Was it one tweet?
Yeah.
I remember
one tweet, but it got a lot of response, so that's why it was...
Yes.
Probably why it blew up so much, yeah.
Yeah, because one of the jobs as clerk is to make sure that people... that are not like alive, that they're not registered, and so there's a lot of people that were registered, but they were no longer with us. And so one of the things that I said is I want to go there and I want to take the state's list of our township and our township list. I want to compare, and I want to take out any names that aren't valid, just so we kind of clean out. We don't waste postage, we don't waste ballots and stuff like that. And so what I wanted to do is I just wanted to prevent voter fraud, because there were some instances up north in Nuevo County where a guy voted 3 or 4 times.
Really?
And since it was such a small area, he got away with it. So it was just a campaign issue. That wasn't my whole campaign. It was just an issue out of one of my 15 plans.
Well, I just thought it was very just a peculiar thing. I just remember seeing a lot more. But you're right. Now that I'm remembering, it just got a large response, and I just wondered why it was pushed so hard at such a local level.
Because that's what the clerk's job.
Yeah.
The clerk's job is elections. The clerk's job is passing out ballots. The clerk's job is counting ballots.
Absolutely.
And so we have to have integrity in the office of the clerk. And so that's why I pushed it so hard, is because I wanted the people of Davison Township to know if they elect me to be their clerk, that I'm going to do anything and everything I can to make sure there's integrity in the office of clerk. And that's voter fraud is everything to do with clerk. I mean, that's the job. The clerk's job is record keeping. If people are born, they send records. If people die, they send records. And then elections. They have to make sure, everything's right. The ballots are printed. They mail it to the right people. I mean, that's what the job is. And so I made it a campaign issue. And then now you see the presidential race. You see Mr. Trump is now making a campaign issue out of it. Because in Ohio, I think it was 500,000 people voted for Obama, but they're not alive.
Yeah. See that I wanted to bring that up. I didn't know how educated you were on it, but you probably just pick it up automatically with the things coming out with dead people being registered. Is that what it was? Being registered or being counted?
Basically, their vote counted because someone else voted for them that were within the system. So I guess how Trump is saying it is people of the Democratic Party, I guess, or whatever, people in the opposition party, he's afraid, and this is Trump, this is not me, he's afraid that they're going to, let's say, a guy named Roger dies, okay? Roger died in, let's say, tomorrow. And he still managed to cast his vote for, let's say, Hillary.
Okay.
And so what he wants, he wants all the local clerks to look into it and make sure that their lists are updated. So there's no people voting that should be. He just wants a fair, let's just put it in dumbed down terms, a fair process.
Well, obviously.
A fair process. That's what he wants. And that's what I wanted for the Davison community. It was one of my campaign issues, yes. So.
What was the last show you went to, Brandon?
You're switching gears on us.
I'm switching. Yeah, I want to hear from you.
The last show I went to was the Getter show. I'm sure y'all are familiar with that.
all y'all,
really?
all
You're
y'all
not familiar with that?
All y'all kids. For the people that have been listening up until this point, it's been so educational.
It has been. You guys are really getting your
knowledge.
Brains are being filled right now.
Well, people that are so in tune with certain, because you always show me the newest of new things for like music and hip hop and like culturally, like you're very.
I think can I plug Reddit in there? Can I give a
shout
out?
Well, no, because you bring up a lot of stuff that I wouldn't notice, or you have a good brain for it, you have a good eye for it. Me and Kyle always made fun of that for you, and he's who else is a politician, and he has the brain for it, and he's young enough that we can sit here and talk to him. So it's just the knowledge, the perspective. But how much did you pay for that ticket?
Let's see, what did I pay? It was my girlfriend and I went. It was I think it was $27 a ticket.
So that's not bad.
No, I mean you really can't complain.
See, I have
general admission for these shows. It's in Royal Oak, and Royal Oak is really a nice town in Michigan. It's a really nice area. You can make a day trip out of going there.
Well, I always you've always heard me. I don't think it's right to pay. I don't think it's right. I don't want to pay for an appearance. So like I don't pay for shows. I don't do concerts. I don't do.
I feel like you got to though. Artists that's how artists make their money though.
I get inspired through like movies and music, but I don't need to see them live. I saw Louis live, and that changed. You heard my whole spiel on that.
You liked it.
Seeing somebody kill and smash and have that much control over a crowd was. It was very strange to see. It was like seeing like Kobe play a basketball game, or it was like it was
going to see LeBron play.
Well, because Louis the greatest right now. Currently, there's no opposition right now, and I got to see him,
so I can't say anything.
And it was just weird. It was weird seeing someone kill that hard, like being that crafty.
That's how I feel about my music too, though. That's the thing. It's what's the word I'm thinking of? It's not biased, but it's like.
Well, you watch a show and people
beat
drops and people love it. They love
But then you switch over to something like yours. You switch the crowds around, and those people aren't gonna.
It's just having control over people. It's having people think the same as you.
Yeah,
like people going, "Oh, I get that." That's
what
all
people like. It's their opinions.
But it was like 30,000 people. It was the Joe. It was the Joe.
Yeah.
So it was packed, and he came out. Boom, 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 like 3 openers, and he had everybody. Then after that, every punchline, everybody blew it up.
That's cool.
That was a show that was worth $10. You don't ever. Well, you got to see Trump, didn't you? You got to see
Speaking of having control over crowds and stuff, Matt has probably met the most amount.
I got to meet Trump. I've had a one-on-one with Trump, and he said you keep doing what you're doing.
Did he really?
Yes.
You swear to God?
Yes.
That's awesome. Talk about that, my God.
But let's bring that up. We should have brought that up earlier.
It was very brief. This was when I was exploring all of the candidates. I even explored some other candidates as well. But what had happened is we had Donald Trump. This is before he was the nominee. This is when he was just starting. And he had come to Birch Run, Michigan, at the Birch Run Expo Center. And I just wanted to meet him, to talk to him, just say, I'm interested in politics, I'm interested in public service. I just wanted to meet you. I want to know what your stance is on this and that. I just wanted a chance to talk to you, because it's one thing watching him on CNN and Fox, but if you have the opportunity, if you really push, you can meet these people. Mm-hmm. And so I had sent an email out to the Trump campaign, Hope Hicks, who is the press secretary, and I said, I really want to meet Mr. Trump. And I also talked to Tana Gortz, who was on The Celebrity Apprentice, Trump's TV show.
Uh-huh. Really?
And I sent her a message, and I said, my dream is to meet Mr. Trump. I want to meet all the candidates.
Did you mention that you were a politician in it?
Well, I said I was eyeing a school board bid, because at the time I wasn't declared. Mm-hmm. I was just exploring running for school board.
Is this pre? Oh, this is pre.
Yeah, this was last year. This was before Trump made it big. This was when Trump was like a peanut. And I don't think he was ever a peanut, but this is before he made it real big.
We know what you mean, yeah.
Before he made it real big.
Yeah.
And so Tana so I'm at the rally, and I was like, darn it, he's over there. I'm way up here. There's like no chance. And so I put my phone on vibrate because that's what the instructor said. All the TV cameras are going to be going on. You got to have your phone on vibrate. So as I'm sitting there, my phone vibrates. And I answer it. I said, hello, hello. And she's like, this is, and I couldn't understand. And then I said, 1 second. I walked to the restroom. She goes, this is Tana, the one you emailed. And like my stomach dropped because I knew where this was going. And she goes, I want you to meet Hope Hicks behind CNN. And she's going to take you backstage to meet Mr. Trump. And at that page, I was like a wet noodle at that stage because I'm like, oh my gosh, they got the email. Number one, and number two, oh my gosh, this is a guy that's running for president. I want to hear both sides. I want to talk to him. So Hope Hicks gets me and by CNN, and she takes me backstage. And as we're walking backstage, it feels like you're in a dream, because it's like, oh my gosh, there's his top Secret Service agent. Here's his advisor that was also George Bush's advisor, George H.W. Bush's advisor. Like, this is a guy that writes books that I admire. And I'm like passing all these people, knowing who they all are, campaign manager and everything, Corey Lewandowski and all of that. And so they're like, okay, wait here. And as soon as Mr. Trump gets off stage, you'll have 60 seconds with him. And I said, oh my gosh, thank you so much. In the meantime, do you want a Trump bumper sticker? Do you want this? And I'm like, I haven't really picked a candidate. That's why I want to meet all of them. So I'll take them, but I'm not going to put them up because I wanted to make it clear to them. So he said, thank you very much, Michigan. Let's win Michigan. And then he walks off stage and his music plays, We're Not Gonna Take It by Twisted Sister. And she said, when you hear Twisted Sister, you know he's coming. So they started playing Twisted Sister. We're not going to take it. And I'm like, man. Here we go. And so he walks off. He's like, what's your name? I said, Matthew Smith. Matthew Smith? Because I'm not a nervous person, as you know. But that particular moment I was.
I think anybody in that particular moment.
There was cameras
that
on.
Power, that wealth, that alpha.
And so he walks off stage and he says, what's your name? I said, my name is Matthew Smith. I have an interest in government and public service. He goes, oh, okay, just keep doing what you're doing and you'll get there, bud. And I said, Mr. Trump, can I get a picture with you? He's like, yeah, sure. So we grab a picture. I have this guy take one off my iPhone. And then there's this other photographer taking one. And so I get my iPhone. And so Mr. Trump leaves. He goes to his Tahoe after we get and I shook his hand for a good probably 10 seconds. Best 10 seconds ever. And, I looked at his hair and everything to make sure it was all real, everything on my bucket list. And then he walks to his Tahoe, and I'm kind of walking out with him and stuff, because once you pass a certain level, Secret Service lets you go anywhere.
Really?
Like, once you pass a certain level, like, once you get this close to the candidate, you can go anywhere.
Once you're in, you're in. Dude.
Right. And so
Matt's in.
Yeah, so he had left, and then I get my iPhone back, and it was a blurry photo, and it wasn't crisp. And I'm like, oh, my God. And then the lady next to me is like, don't worry, I got it. And I was like, yes. And so she sent me the photo, and it was me and Trump. And so if you notice, the photo of me and Trump, we're looking off to the right because that was my iPhone. The backup photo was right here. So the picture of me and Trump are looking in one direction, but the photo, the backup camera got that. So thank God she was there. But I wanted to meet all the candidates, and I pretty much met every candidate except I did not get to meet Bernie. And I did not get to meet
Hillary.
Chris Christie.
Right? Did you meet Hillary?
Well, I come close to her, but I didn't get to really. I got to see Bill Clinton.
What did her hair look like up close?
Hillary, I don't know. I mean, it was real. Obviously.
It was real. Well, obviously, I just
people
think
speculate if Trump's hair is real.
I know, but her hair and Trump, they both have very intricate hair. Like her hair reminds me.
I wasn't focused on the hair. I was focused on the turkey wrinkles.
Oh yeah.
She's got turkey wrinkles because she's old. In all due respect,
I think her hair looks like the Hunger Games people, like the Hunger Games haircut. That's just an observation. It's not even. You don't even have to just making fun of them. Literally, the whole world. Everyone says something mean about these people. People don't understand that you're looking at this current time the most popular people on the physical earth. Like there's critics everywhere. You think bad thoughts about them all day. I bet nothing can hurt them. And one thing I don't get. Okay, maybe give me some insight into this. Maybe I'm just a stupid thinker. People after the debate happened literally hours ago. Regardless, I plan on getting this up tomorrow. So the third and final debate just happened, and people always say afterwards. I was listening to NPR, which is a little too left for my taste, and which is why I do this podcast, which isn't to any of them. And NPR is always lean left. So what can I complain about? and they were doing the post-debate analyzation like every news outlet does, and they say, oh, well, I thought Hillary, like they always say, I thought Donald got under Hillary's skin this time, or vice versa, I thought Hillary got under Donald's skin. I don't think I don't think people are looking at it for what it is. I think people are creating this narrative for themselves. They're like, of course they must be under each other's skin, but they go up there and it's a play. It's like what everyone's gonna see. It's so thought out that the insult, they're not even real. They're just getting it in the right position to sound good.
I think what they're called is talking heads.
Yeah.
And I got to be careful because I don't want to be hypocritical and talk about the debate because I'll be a talking head. But basically, one thing I don't like, and all due respect because some of them are my colleagues, I don't like talking heads that analyze something and then they twist it to poison the brain.
Well, I said that wasn't, obviously that's an issue, but that issue's beat to death. It's not like I'm being edgy or bringing up something important that's been talked about all the time, but I don't think they actually get under each other's skin.
No.
Like, I don't think they actually hate each other. It's literally, it's fair game. It's like...
It's who's going to keep us safe. It's who's going to have the best plan to get rid of the crumbling infrastructure. It's who's got the best plan to get rid of the debt. And that's what I look for in the presidential debate. Yeah, it's funny when you get the insults and you'd be in jail or something like that. Yeah. That's funny
timing,
stuff.
The comedic timing.
That's funny stuff. But what I'm looking for is
the real
policy
stuff.
Specifics.
Here's an opinion I'd like of you, and I've been saying this to people, and people have been kind of agreeing with me, but I feel like the Republican Party, Donald Trump this year, I feel like usually a party that represents conservatism and staying in place. This is being branded. Donald Trump is kind of branding this as the resistance party, like the party of change. Because if you vote for Hillary, it's more the same. But this time around for the Republican is the change.
It's the same thing Barack Obama did in 2008 after 8 years of Bush.
Yeah.
After 8 years of Bush, he was the change candidate.
Mm-hmm.
And so what Trump's doing is he's saying, I got the change, not Obama change, but real change.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what he's doing because people, I mean, you look at the polls. I mean, I don't know. I actually like polls, and we're going to be doing one in the school board race, and it's going to be interesting to see the numbers.
Have you posted polls of when you've been in races, or do they have polls?
Yes, we have to pay. I have to pay for them.
Really?
They're probably
what do they run?
$800 to $1,000.
Oh, okay.
And I did a poll, and I was beating my opponent, I think by like 9 points.
Okay.
But then, so you have a polling list, okay? And you sample registered voters, not voters that are going to vote for sure, but registered voters. So we did a sample, I think, on like 50 people per precinct. And we have 19,000 people in registered voters in Davison Township. Only 1,000 come out and voted in the clerk's race.
Wow.
Very low turnout.
Really?
So we sampled over, I think, 2,000 people.
Did you vote?
Yes.
You voted.
Only 1,000 people?
Yeah, 1,000 out of 19,000.
Oh my God.
So
that says a lot.
So that's pitiful. And I think if I would have ran in general, I would have won for clerk because all of my people, I hate to say it, but most of them stayed at home.
Oh, yeah.
Because
they got Bernied.
That's true.
They sat in their basement.
But I didn't say rigged system, every 3 seconds. But the Republican Party, I don't want to touch too much on it because, this is a nonpartisan race. But what I will tell you of the Republican Party is this time around, I think people are upset with what's going on, and they want someone to just keep them safe, make their daily lives better, and they'll have to make that determination. But we have to get away from the name calling, and we have to talk about ISIS chopping off heads and stuff like that because
it's over now, isn't it?
It's over now, but Trump, he's going to have a rally tomorrow with 20,000 people, and it's going to begin all over again.
The seats are going to be filled.
Yeah, and so with Hillary, she tends to do smaller gatherings, where Trump he'll post that he's going to be in Philadelphia.
He'll do monster truck rallies.
Yeah, like he'll say I'm going to be in Philadelphia tomorrow, and then it's sold out like 20 minutes after he posts it. And so it's nonstop campaigning with him. And one thing he says at one of his rallies, it's headline forever. And so what we have to do is this election, we have to, yes, this presidential race is important, but that's at the top of the ticket. You have to look at the very, very, very bottom of the ballot, and that's school board. And that's what's important. This election is presidency, but also local races are very important too.
You've been a machine. Like I said at the beginning, it's so I love it. It's so
because it means a lot to me, and I constantly think.
Well, it's your life right now. It's your job.
Yeah,
it really is.
But normally people my age, they think about girlfriends or they think about other things that we're not going to discuss.
You have the opposite end of the spectrum. You got me over here, and then you have Matt.
Yeah.
My downtime, I'm thinking about, okay, what can I do to, better this end of the district, or what can we do for this? What principal should I go talk to tomorrow about this subject? Like, I'm always thinking ahead what I can do, and not only what I can do for the campaign, but how I can better myself, because that's always important too. You always have to look to improve yourself so you're a better person. You know what I mean? So I'm constantly thinking about the future and stuff. I want to live a life that inspires others to kind of do the same. Like, maybe not run for school
Self-made.
or office, but I want other people to take a stand and kind of
who doesn't want to be self-made? Who doesn't?
All three of us at this table right now
are trying so
we're
hard,
all three,
dreaming so
hard. We're all
hard.
three on different paths, but they're all going towards the same
thing.
I
had a long conversation with Matt last night, and Matt was saying, regardless of the viewership, because he was talking about, I want a lot of views on this. I planned this on purpose. This is very strategic. You guys are both very talented and have large followings and large viewership. So that I'm obviously trying to get viewership here, and I got a sponsor too. But I see us as doing something like this again in the future when we're better. And
this is a start.
Want me to tell the viewers what I meant by what I said?
Of course.
So what I meant by what I said is, no matter if this gets 5 views, 10 views, 3 views from us watching it, or 150 views, this is important because this is the starting point for all of our lives. And we're going to look back on this 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years down the road and where we started. So the message to the viewers, even if not a lot of people watch this and it doesn't get a lot of views, in my opinion, it's still a win-win, because now we have something on record that we can go back and look at to say, okay, this is where we started. You know what I mean? This is important stuff. You have to document stuff.
How do you think you did? How do you think the people that were hoping you would slip up, how do you think they?
I raised my hand and say Matt did good.
What about you? What about yourself?
Hey, I was a little small part.
Plug everything you got right now.
Follow me on Twitter at Orthodoxin Music with an X.
Spell it.
That's how it sounds, Zach. Just sound it out.
It's sounded out. Put the words together. Orthodox.
We'll tweet my Twitter.
What about your residence DJ thing? What about that deal?
Residence DJ for my buddies that I was talking about earlier. Playing a lot of shows around the local Michigan area.
Anything coming up like that?
Honestly, anytime I want to play with them, I just have to ask.
Well, obviously, you're available for it.
Yeah, call me.
So what? You got a business email or what? What do you got?
Twitter.
Just your Twitter.
Okay, so I'm going to contact you and we're going to do a DJ party to get out the vote.
Yes.
Yeah, Brandon can DJ.
Okay.
So at Orthodoxin
Music.
Correct. That's all you want to plug. That's all.
At Orthodoxin Music. Follow me on SoundCloud. SoundCloud rappers follow me. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on everything.
Matt, plug it up.
I don't want your follow. I want your vote. I think this is an important election from, like I said, the top to the bottom. Whether I win or whether I lose, I will always fight for the residents. I will always fight for the school district. Whatever I run for in the future, I hope to just be on the school board right now and do a good job. I do have a Twitter, at Matthew Smith Jr. Jr. Facebook, same thing, Matthew Smith Jr. You can connect with me. And the only reason why I'm shouting that out is because if anyone has any questions about my specifics or what I want to do for them to make their lives better, to make this district better, I want them to get a hold of me, because I want people to get more one-on-ones with me, and that's what I'm going to work on is reaching more people. But I'm on social media. You can follow me, and also I want to point out, over the course of the next couple weeks, there's going to be some newspaper articles coming out with a voter guide that's going to compare me to the other 2 candidates. I think you're going to see a real difference there of who is the person that's grassroots and can deliver. I have respect for the other people running, but you're going to see differences in us as far as homegrown. And I know that if I was a voter, I would want someone that is homegrown and someone that is local, just like, some people I talk to say they send kids to the district. So they want someone that's here that knows ins and outs. So I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. You can follow me and connect with me on there. You can follow the campaign. We got some really cool ads coming out that we're going to promote that I'm working on right now. And just sign up on one of the pages, subscribe by liking, and you can see all of our campaign posts and get a hold of me if you wanted more information. I really applaud you for having us on because I think this is beneficial not only to the voters but to
anybody viewing
anyone, because this just goes to show that there is hidden potential. Even
it's the Lunar Man Podcast,
Davison.
Baby.
You gotta shout out the podcast itself.
It's a great platform. Come on and say literally anything you want. This podcast was brought to you by Geododge. Geododge is available on the iOS App Store. Follow me at Zach Moon, Zach Moon, 3 O's on Twitter, and follow me at the Lunar Man Podcast on Twitter, the YouTube channels, Twitter account. Subscribe to me. All of these plugs will be in the description below. This couldn't have gone any better with better people. I thank both of you for coming on. You all did amazing.
It was a good time.
Thank you
we
very
learned
much
a lot.
for having me.
And I hope it's better next time.